Next, we're going to configure File Explorer settings on the control panel. I'll bet you didn't even know you could do that, but you can. So let's call up, well, first of all, let's take a look at File Explorer. And that is this little folder down here. Pretty much any folder you open your system up to, you're in File Explorer. If you don't happen to have that little folder down here, go over to your Start button, and you'll see a File Explorer right there. And by the way, you could pin it back to your taskbar from here if you want to. So let's open File Explorer. And you see I have a lot of settings here under these various tabs. And I can set up a lot of those settings through the control panel. And let's take a look at where that is. I'm going to open up Control Panel. Now our default view is under Category. And no matter what I click here, I probably won't find what I'm looking for because it's not there that I've ever found. You have to go over to these icon views, and then there's the File Explorer options. Now it turns out that this window is actually in File Explorer itself. Let's go to File Explorer. I'm going to go to View, and then over here to Options. And I have the exact same window. Alright, let's cancel out of that, and let's see what's on this window. I can open, when I click something, I can open it in the same window or in a new window. I can do single click, and if I change this to single click, by the way, you'll see that when I have to turn this off. When I hover over something, if I let it wait for a second, it selects that item. And then I can do a single click to actually click it. I don't like single click on personally. I like the double click. And I've seen some people get pretty messed up using single click, moving things they didn't intend to move and things like that. Show recently used files or folders in quick access. Now what's this quick access thing all about? Well, if I close these things up, I've got a OneDrive, a this PC, and a network. Well, there should be a quick access here as well that can store recently used files and folders as well as pinned items. I don't particularly like it, so I turned it off, which you have to do with a registry hack. I like to just get around using this system, this structure right here. For me, it just is more intuitive to do that. Under the View tab, you see I have something called Apply to Folders or Reset Folders. This has to do with this view, and since I'm not in one of these, let's just open up the C drive right now, and I'll go back there again. And now you'll see that this is active. Apply to Folders. So if I want all of them to be this detail view like that, instead of a content view or a medium icon view, then I can click that and it will change them all. I can show or hide hidden files and folders, hide empty drives. So if my disk drives, if I don't want them to show when they're empty, I can turn that off here. Hide extensions for known file types. This is on by default. I don't like it personally. I like to turn it off. I'm going to uncheck that. And every time I start up a new Windows system, I always come in here and uncheck that box. I'm going to click Apply, and now all of a sudden you can see that I can see the extensions on these files. So exe files, DLL files, TXT files, I can tell what they are by looking at them now rather than having them all hidden, and that is really handy at times. Lots of other options down here that we're not going to get into in detail right now. Use Sharing Wizard is on by default. Personally, I turn that off so that I can get to advanced sharing, and we'll see that later on in the course. So let's just go ahead and close that. You can see I have a lot of other options up here on my File Explorer itself. There's a Home tab, a File tab, Share tab, which we'll get to later. Actually, we don't usually use the Share tab, but you might. And then the View tab, how I want this thing to look. And then something called Drive Tools, where we can do some formatting and turn on things like BitLocker and so on if we have them available. If you have a Windows Home system, you will not have that available to you. Optimize a drive. All of these things we're going to talk about later, but these are just tools that are elsewhere in the system. that we've made available to us here on the File Manager toolbar.